And John McClane, Howard Weitzman, Three Stooges.
You are not happy with them.
No, I'm not, and I'm saddened more than anything because I've known these people a long time, and it breaks my heart to see how things can change. Money can change people, and all I can say that I hope it works out for everyone in the best way that it should. Now the government's gotten involved. And so,
all right, the government's involved huge, big time. They say that $702 million, let me say that again, $702 million, yes. Almost $750 million in taxes are owed, plus penalties, plus interest. It is a staggering figure that this estate has been conducted in a manner that after paying $100 million in taxes, it owes penalties, interest, and $702 million. What's happening?
Well, this is just the tip of the iceberg. These are some of the things that I've known all along. You and I have discussed it. But for me to come out and say all these things, it would seem kind of crazy. But when the government says it,
then people, when the IRS speaks, people listen. It has
a
don't
lot more
they?
relevance. Yes, it does.
This is because of what? What kind? I mean, anytime a person of wealth who passes away can't plan their estate, somebody has botched it. What's happened?
Well, I don't know what's happened, but I know something's wrong, and you know that. I mean, I think I know what's happened. I don't want to say too much here. It's horrible. I mean, Branca had said many times that my brother was $400 million in debt, and he had paid off all his debts, and they did a massive campaign on that. How Branca did all these great things, but now you see the filings. He said he was only $28 million in debt, not 400 or 500 million.
No, this debt was a fantasy, and I want to talk to you. We're going to take a quick break. $310 million came into the estate in the first year of its operation. There wasn't any debt with that huge income flow. Let's take a quick commercial break, Randy, and talk about really kind of the phantoms which have been perpetrated here. You're listening to Insight with Brian Oxman. My special guest is Randy Jackson. He is the youngest member of the Jackson family, and really one of the most outspoken and the guy to turn to when you need him. We'll be right back.
I'm feeling good.
I am Brian Oxman, and you are listening to Insight. I am here in studio with Randy Jackson, the youngest member of the Jackson family, and
youngest boy.
The youngest boy.
Yes.
Okay.
The youngest boy.
All right, give me a rundown. Who's who and what's what? You got to have a scorecard.
There's too many of us. So
I know.
So I don't even know myself. I'm just joking.
Okay, you have the oldest.
The oldest is Reevy.
Is Maureen Reevy.
Then there's Jackie.
Jackie.
Then there's Tito.
Then
there's Jermaine.
Right, Jermaine.
Then there's Latoya.
Correct.
Marlon.
Right.
Michael.
Right.
Myself.
So you came right after Michael.
Yeah. And then Janet.
Yes. And Janet is the baby.
The baby, yes. Not a baby, but the baby, yes.
I mean, this roll call, and the strangest thing is, Randy, the roll call, when we were in court on the Smith-Hemian case, which was many, many moons ago, I did that roll call as to the people who I represented. Everybody just, they were in stitches as I recited the 9 members of the Jackson family, and I included your mom and dad. It's America's first family of music. What an amazing group of people.
Thank you. I like these headphones.
Oh, we switched headphones.
Yeah,
you got the good ones.
I got the good ones now.
You look good in them.
Well, yeah, these are Sennheisers. I use these in the studio. How dare you do that to me?
We were talking about the taxes which are
Yes.
owed on the Michael Jackson estate. The interesting thing is the IRS says that the image of Michael Jackson, which was valued by the estate at $2,105, was a nonsensical valuation, utterly absurd in the view of the IRS. They said it's more like $434 million. What kind of thing? What were they thinking when they valued Michael's image as being $2,000?
That's a question for John Branca and John McClain. It saddens me, as I said before. I don't understand that, and this is the tip of the iceberg. A lot more is going to come out, and I'm just happy that the truth is coming to surface. So,
It's a question of estate planning, and we pay attorneys a lot of money to plan people's estates.
yes,
And the purpose of that is so that when they pass away, that they don't have these huge tax liabilities, which take away from their children. We talk about Prince Paris and Prince Michael II, who we call Blanket. They have an inheritance that they're entitled to. It looks to me like it's all being eaten up by taxes, which were never planned for, despite the fact that the people who are in charge now were the people who did the poor tax planning.
I think it's important that the public knows that my family is not. We are not happy with McClain and Branca. We never have been. We're not supportive. We don't believe that the will is real. We don't. There's a lot that we don't believe. I think there's this misconception that we're supportive of their conduct. We're not. For some strange reason, and this is me speaking. That will, the original will, is under seal in court, and for some reason, no one can get it out. But I think maybe there's a chance that will happen. But we don't support the situation. We don't support this whole thing with the taxes, with Branca. We're just not happy with it. So I want that to be known to the public. You okay, Brian?
Can we cut that out?
No, don't cut it
No,
out.
don't cut that out.
No, leave it.
We got to have that in
You're
there.
coughing and you're turning red.
That's right. You are not happy with how this estate is being administered. And you talked about the will. That has been a matter of public speculation.
Yes.
It's not speculative, Randy.
It's not.
You are one who knows. Why? What's happened?
Well, he simply wasn't there when they said he signed the will on the penalty and perjury. He was not in that location. And that's been proven. But then they created this whole thing with this kidnapping to try to divert the attention over to here. And
the will says it was signed in Los Angeles, but Michael wasn't in Los Angeles.
No.
That
So all
day.
of a sudden, when I asked that question, all of a sudden Katherine Jackson's kidnapped, and where is she? Yada yada yada. But no one, So that was all staged by them to kind of steal the attention away from the fact that this will was under question.
Why has this not been examined by federal authorities to look into the authenticity of this will? I don't care what anyone says. Somebody needs to examine it. Why hasn't that happened?
That's a very good question. Howard Weitzman seems to have some kind of pull somewhere, and but maybe it is being examined. The government, they don't tell you what they're doing all the time, but maybe it is being examined, and we're not aware of it. But for some reason, the court is not allowing us to go any further than this probate situation.
Tell me about Randy Jackson. Where and what is in the future for Randy Jackson?
I try to live a simple life. I try to be as comfortable in my own skin as possible and leave the stage stuff on the stage. I spend my time, I'm in ministry school, and I spend my time helping people, sharing God's love all over the place as much as I can, and that's my life. That's what I do.
I don't know. People say to me, Randy, he is so nice. He's so kind.
I'm not that nice.
Let me tell you something. You are. You are. But at the same time.
Ask my ex-wife.
Well, okay, yeah.
She'll tell you I'm not so nice.
I have lived that one with you too. At the same time, you are as tough as nails. And that's why everyone turns to you. So you have these two sides, Randy. And I think it's amazing.
Well, I want to believe that I'm tough on principles and values. My values, I want to keep them strong and never want to change those things because that's who I am as a person. And that's all I have.
Well,
so
I am honored to be your friend, and I thank you for joining
thank you.
us. I want to also thank our special guests. We had Army Staff Sergeant Ty Carter, the Medal of Honor winner. We had Randy Jackson, the member of the Jackson family, and Gil Garcetti, the former district attorney of Los Angeles. You're listening to Insight with Brian Oxman, and we will see you once again next week.